it's Jess, and today I'm showing you my birthday book haul. For someone who's trying to read their entire physical TBR, I definitely have more books than I thought I would to show you, but it was my birthday. Every year I get books on my birthday. This was no exception, and you know what? I'm not sorry about it. I'm gonna keep getting books every single year on my birthday. A couple of these are gifts to me, but to be perfectly honest, I picked out the vast majority of these. And listen, you know what? Jake asked me 3 times. Once the week before my birthday and twice in the week of my birthday if I wanted to go to Barnes and Noble. And was I gonna say no? Hello? No. Obviously, I want to go to the bookstore. So we went and I got some books and now I'm going to show them to you. Okay, so the first couple of books that I have to show are actually book of the month picks. I've been honestly really good about my book of the month picks this year. I've only got one box shipped to me. It did have 2 books in it, but just wait, you'll see. So the first one I got was my March pick, which is Lone Women by Victor Lavelle. This is an adult horror novel set in 1915, and it follows Adeline, who is striking out on her own, and she has this mysterious trunk with her that she can't open because people start to die when she opens the trunk, and it's somehow wrapped up in the death of her family somehow. I do love a good horror novel, and this one I think is supernatural, which I love even more than just regular horror. I am a fantasy girly. I basically picked this one because of Jessie from Jessie on YouTube. They have been raving about Victor Lavelle's writing, and I want to know what that is all about, so I'm taking this on their recommendation and I'll let you know what I think. The second book that I got from Book of the Month is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshni Chokshi, and this is one of my most anticipated books of the entire year. It's been killing me that I have not read this book so far. This is a gothic fairy tale of a woman named Indigo, and she gets married, and the only thing she asks her groom is to not look into her past. But then one day she gets a letter from her family and she has to go back home to her family estate, and then creepy shit is gonna start happening once she gets there. I don't know what, but I cannot wait to find out. I also have what I think will be a controversial opinion about this book. I think that this cover is the superior one. I prefer this to the UK cover, and I feel like I have not heard a single person say that, but this is so gorgeous. The blue and the yellow flowers, the blue background, it's just so stunning. The hair. If you agree with me, please let me know, because I do think that for once, one time, the US cover is actually the better cover. And you know what? We need to celebrate that, because we don't know when that will happen again. It might never happen again. Next up, I have a couple more anticipated releases, and the first one is The Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. This is the first book in the Nightshade Crown series. I don't know how many books this is scheduled to be yet. This follows Lore, who has death magic, and when she was young, she escaped from a cult and has since been on the run. One day, I'm not sure how, basically Lore gets found by some monks, and then from there gets like brought to the king's court and gets wrapped up in politics. There's something that's going around killing hundreds of people, and they want Lore to use her magic to help them to figure out what is going on, but obviously she's still on the run, so being thrust into this political situation is obviously a massive danger to her. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a romance in here, but not 100% on that. And then my other anticipated release is The Adventures of Amina Alsarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I don't think anyone is surprised to see me with this book in my hands. This book has been on everyone's most anticipated releases for this year. It has been hauled by everybody this month. It is just everywhere right now. But if you don't know, this is a book following Amina Alsarafi, who is a retired pirate, and basically one of her crewmates, family members, finds her as she's retired and makes her an offer she can't refuse to help her track down her daughter who has been kidnapped. Middle-aged retired pirate goes on one last adventure is all I need to be interested in this book. That combined with Shannon Chakraborty being the author, like, I love the Daevabad trilogy, even though I haven't finished it, that's not the point. So I'm really excited to dive into this. Okay, so now we're moving into the books that I picked out for my birthday and the gifts also that I got. The first one being Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. I just have been seeing the cover around and I was so intrigued, and then I found out what it's about and it just sounded so good. This is another adult horror, and it follows a father and a son who their wife mother has passed away. Basically, they go to see like the house that she left them, which they obviously haven't been living in. And from then they kind of like discover where their wife and mother came from. And she was like wrapped up in a cult. Creepy shit starts happening. I'm really hoping that the house is haunted, but I don't know for sure. No idea if the house is haunted or not. But I'm hoping it is because I love a good haunted house story. But I love cult stories, love adult horror. I've also heard really, really good things about the author's writing style, so I'm really excited to give her a shot. I also finally picked up Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I have yet to see somebody say a single bad thing about this book. This is a cozy fantasy and it follows an orc, and she is tired of living the warrior life, so she retires and opens a coffee shop. That's all I know. It's supposed to be so cute, so cozy. I know that she makes cinnamon buns, which is like one of my favorite pastries on the planet. This book just sounds so cute, and I wanted it for so long, but I have been resisting because I've been buying books that I need for videos that I have planned, and finally, I was just like, it's my birthday and I want it and I'm getting it. So now I have it. The next two books got me because they're part of Barnes & Noble's buy one, get one 50% off table. It's gonna be really weird when you see them. So here we go. The first one is The Cat Who Saved Books by Sasuke Natsukawa. This one actually is definitely a book that I would pick up. I haven't necessarily specifically said that I'm interested in this type of book, but if you know me, it's not really a surprise to see that I would be. This is just a cute little novella about a boy who inherits his grandfather's bookshop, and the bookshop is failing, but then one day a talking cat shows up and says that they have to go save abused books all over the world, and then they go on like an interdimensional adventure to save books. And It just sounds so delightful and warm and whimsical, and I love whimsy. Like, one of my favorite things in any form of media is whimsy. I just love it so much. And yeah, I was sold on this instantly. Now, the second book that I got in the buy one get one 50% off is going to be the book where you're like, wait a minute, Jess. What? So I saw this book and I was attracted to one of the words in the title, which will make sense if you know me because it's something that I love in books. And so I looked up reviews of it, and the reviews were very, very positive, and I thought that maybe it would give me something to hold myself over after Silver Under Nightfall last year until the sequel comes out in November, because that was one of my favorite books of the entire year. I think about it constantly, and I'm just chasing the feeling that that book gave my heart. I'm chasing the relationship, that cute little polyamorous relationship between the three main characters. I have been chasing that feeling, the butterflies I got, how endearing they were, how cute they were together. It was just so adorable. And so I've been chasing that. And I thought, well, why don't we give Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert a try? This book is not cute. It is not wholesome. I've already read it. It is polyamorous. It is about vampires. This is erotica. I did not know that when I bought it. And I want to make it clear, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with erotica. I just didn't know that this would be erotica when I bought it. I thought it was going to be romance. And there's a very big difference between the two of those. So yeah, this is my first foray into erotica. It was interesting, and you can hear more of my thoughts about it in my monthly wrap-up, which will be coming next week. After I read Court of the Vampire Queen, I still wanted something to fill that Silver Under Nightfall hole in my heart. I also happened to get a gift card from Ronan, and I'm so grateful. Thank you, Ronan, for the gift card. I appreciate it so very much. So this time around, I did some research because what I was looking for was the magical combination of vampires, a very steamy romance that gives me butterflies, that gets me very invested in the romance part of it. Now, if there's smut, that's great, but that's not required. I want to care more about them building the relationship. And I also wanted the book to be like 55% romance and then like 45% plot. I wanted the plot to be very present within the book, but still take a slight backseat to the romance. And I found Blood Mercy by Vella Roth. This is Blood Grace Book 1, and this was recommended by, not to me personally, just like in general on the internet, by Erin from Booked and Busy, and it was so good, I've already bought the second book, Blood Solace. It's excellent. It is exactly what I wanted and needed. I bought the second book before I had even finished with the first because I didn't want to have to go a day without being able to continue reading the series. This is a series that follows Cassia and Leo. Cassia is a human and Leo is a Hespertine, which is a vampire. And basically, Cassia's father is the king, and Leo is part of a diplomatic envoy sent by the leaders of the Hespertines. Cassia's father is basically working on a political agreement between the two nations. There's a lot of political high stakes in this. There's so much world building. I love the world building, but yeah, basically like the two of them meet because of that. Things happen. I don't want to talk too much about this. I don't want to spend too much time gushing because, again, you will hear about this in my monthly wrap up. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to finish Blood Solace by the end of the month. It's going to cut it pretty close, so you might have to wait a little while longer to hear my thoughts on that one. But yes, you should buy this book. And then the last book in this book haul is another gift. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Corey, so much. Corey gifted me House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know anything about the plot of this book. Like, all I know is that everyone either loves or hates this book, and that it's like considered one of the scariest books of all time. The formatting of it is extremely, extremely weird. I have been wanting to read this book since I got into reading horror books, but to be perfectly honest, I've been so intimidated by what everybody says about this book that I've been too afraid to buy it for myself, because I'm like, what if my 4 brain cells rolling around like marbles in my head just cannot comprehend this book? Like, what if I can't handle it? So I've been so intimidated, but now I have it. Thank you so much, Corey. There you have it. Those are the books that I got for my birthday. Well, not all of them were for my birthday, but most of them were for my birthday. Thank you so much to those of you who gifted me something for my birthday. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you did subscribe. Stay safe this week, stay hydrated, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!